Welcome to Inspiring Teachers, a show bringing you classroom tips, motivation, and stories from successful educators. Join Tavis Bean and Danny Hauger as they explore the why of teaching.
And good morning, everyone. Welcome to a solo edition of Inspiring Teachers. I'm Danny Hauger, and it's an absolute pleasure to be with you this morning. Hope you're doing well wherever you are. Today is Martin Luther King Day, and it is my favorite day to talk about this wonderful American, and we will also be sharing you a way to enhance your math classrooms this morning from my years as a math teacher. But first, let's start with the due diligence and one of my favorite topics to teach about, and that's Martin Luther King Jr. And it's, for me, he's always been, and I say this openly in my classroom, my favorite American because of what he fought for the equality of people, the brave way that he did it, the loving way that he spoke, his passionate speaking voice, his amazing use of spoken and written word, putting sentences together poetically that flowed with brilliance and emotion and captivated audiences. And then when you consider what he was speaking for and his goal to unify people and bring people together, his mountaintop speech being my favorite speech, I can't imagine the bravery and the sincerity of knowing the uncertainty of the days ahead for him and what would eventually happen, and still his willingness to continue to speak for the love and the kindness and the message and the ideal of getting together and becoming a union of people and forgetting about separations and forgetting probably the wrong word, but overcoming the history. And that's remarkable to me. It's something that I've told my class that, as we look through different headlines, there's still a long way to go in reaching the goals and dreams that he's laid out. And there's still a lot of unifying and togetherness that needs to occur for us all to feel more connected and less divided. So on this Martin Luther King Day, inspiring teachers everywhere are talking about his enduring message and the unity that he spoke for, the togetherness and care that we can show our students, and the leadership that we can try to bring in our classrooms in just a fragment or a percentage of the magnitude, but to continue to strive to do more and more, just as Dr. King would have told us to do if he could still tell us today. And his words are still around, and with YouTube in your classroom, why not revisit the primary source material of those speeches? Absolutely fantastic. Well, I'm Danny Hauger, and it's been a great year so far in 2020. I hope it has been for you too. There are a few new things about our show. If you like, share, and subscribe, we'll be at the Good Teaching Conference North in San Jose, California. So if you're in the Bay Area, go to the CTA website and definitely take a look at that event. We want to continue to thank our supporter, ampeduplearning.com, for being a wonderful and intricate part of a teacher-owned program and a teacher-owned website where teachers can post their own materials or gain access to wonderful materials for their classroom. That's ampeduplearning.com, and you can use the promo code HaugerHistory10 to save 10% on your order. You can even go to the Hauger History store when you're there, and I'll be putting today's resource up there very shortly after we finish recording. So, when I used to teach math class, it was a unique challenge. I've been a social studies teacher for 5 years, and in the first 2 years of my teaching, I taught middle school math. And the group of students that came into my classroom were not always the biggest fans of math, as historically you might have been aware. I don't know where this feeling and sentiment about math has evolved from. I'm not sure if it's a synthesis of media roles or if it's our own presentation of math as, a chore instead of a skill that can be extremely beneficial to almost everyone's life. But here we are. And so my role was always to try to come in and find some joy in the room. And the resources I'm going to share with you today is available on ampeduplearning.com. It's called the Geometry Walk. And I don't think I'm the very first person to do this. I think I'm pulling on memories from my own childhood. So hats off to the teachers of my youth. But it essentially is a local field trip for geometry or for shapes or for angles. So it's something that you can do at just about any grade level, from the kindergarten sight word vocabulary and just spotting shapes around the school, probably best in small groups for those small students, or third or fourth grade measuring angles or identifying complex shapes, all the way to middle school and high school where you can do calculations of surface area for three-dimensional shapes that you see, or you can do the breakdown of shapes into multiple compositions. And what I do is I give them a sheet of paper template that I created that has different squares for them, almost like Blue's Clues style, to walk around the school, identify the shape, sketch it down, take measurements with rulers or measuring tape, carry a calculator and do the calculations of surface area or area. You could even just measure lengths and distances. You could try to fit shapes inside of shapes. You can really make this as complex or add on as much as you like. You can make it a game or a race. But I find kind of just a casual nature walk, it's something I almost never do in my classroom, which makes when I used to do it special, that we would go outside, we would take our time, there were no textbooks involved, and it's kind of like real world applied math, and my students always really enjoyed it. And even students that didn't enjoy every day's class came and said, can we do that again tomorrow? Can we do that again next Friday? And if you can be creative with it, you might be able to take it outside multiple times as you learn new formulas or new shapes. I think it's a winner. So the template that I provide is simplistic so that it can be in any hands in any room. But I find that you could take this and travel with it, no pun intended, just like the worksheet, and make it yours. Maybe you can even walk down the street, although I doubt that permissions will get you there. But you never know if you don't ask, right? So that's a geometry walk, and that's today's free resource. There's no charge for that. If you're into spending money, you can go check out A Broadcaster's Secrets to Teaching, which is my book, on Amazon, Kindle, and Amped Up Learning. You could also go to Teespring and look for the Inspiring Teachers Teacher Store. And hey, if you love music, why not checked out? I went all the way 7 minutes in with no mistakes. I'm not going to edit that. Just like my music, you could go to All at Once on iTunes, Pandora, Spotify, and check out my brand new album and support my music as well. So we'll keep the episode kind of short this week because one great thing about sharing is that if you overshare, you lose everybody. So this is for all math teachers this week. Specifically, this was tailored for you. Hope you're doing well wherever you are. Like, share, subscribe, and we will see you very soon for another edition of Inspiring Teachers. Everybody, I'm Danny Hauger. Thank you for watching and listening, and I hope you like the new studio. It's going to be really cool as new things come along. We'll see you next time. Have a great day, everybody.